Welcome back to the final part of today's show. I was asking you earlier on which meal you would eat if you had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, in the light of the lady who's eating curry, or she's eaten it for about 30,000 meals so far. And Donna in Cheltenham said, I tried this at university. I decided that tomato soup would be something I could happily eat three times a day. I lasted 2 weeks, by which time the thought of putting another spoonful in my mouth made me want to heave. I can't eat it anymore 15 years later. Our sleep expert, Sammy Margo, is here and ready to take your calls. Quickly, if you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, Sammy?
Chips.
Chips. You get sick of them in a week, I guarantee. We should do an experiment. OK, let's get straight to the calls, and we've got Luke on the line. Hello, Luke.
Hi, Gabby.
Hi, I said before the break, you're suffering a bit from night sweats.
Yeah, it's a bit of an embarrassing problem, really. I mean, it's been going on for about the last 10 years or so, where I wake up maybe in the middle of the night or in the morning and just really damp. I mean, once I woke up so bad, my fingers were like prunes, you know, like I got out of the bath, you know?
That's
bad.
And you say this happened for 10 years. Is it getting worse, or is it staying about the same?
I would say it's staying about the same. I mean, it only happened yesterday evening. As soon as I heard you mention it, I thought I'd give you a call and find out what I can do. I tried quite a few things, sort of sleeping with less, having the window open, but it doesn't really seem to help that much.
OK, well, I can give you a few tips. This is a problem that we commonly see in menopausal women, having hot flashes and hot flushes. And we often recommend that try a warm bath before you go to bed at night, because when you get out of the bath, you'll actually be cooled down, and that will help release your sleepy hormones. Glass of cold or iced water by your bedside, window open, as you've said. Try sleeping with as little as possible, and use cotton, and even sleep naked.
Why does it happen? What physiologically brings it on?
We're not quite certain. If it's a guy who's been having it for 10 years, he probably ought to go and check out with his GP exactly what's going on.
If his fingers are looking like prunes, that's a lot of fluid he's losing, isn't it?
I mean, this often happens when you're ill or if you're menopausal, and that kind of, we expect that. But for it to be going on for that long, it is a little bit of a concern, so I'd seek out further advice. But quite often the problem is, if you're getting overheated, your sleepy hormones, melatonin, cannot be released. So it's going to be affecting his... It would be fine if it wasn't affecting his sleep, but he's going to be waking up.
Do you feel, Luke, that the quality of the sleep you're getting isn't good enough? Are you waking up also feeling tired?
I mean, when I wake up, I feel okay, but, you know, after maybe a few hours, I might feel that tiredness, you know, kick back in again. I certainly hope I'm not menopausal, anyway, because I'm only a 27-year-old man. Yeah, I think the quality of sleep is fine. It's just that dampness, like I say, that's the problem.
There could be a hormone. I mean, if it started when you were 17, there could have been a hormonal issue.
Exactly, thanks.
Sorry.
Absolutely, there could be a hormonal issue, and it's definitely worth going and getting it checked out. But try a lot of other things. Try introducing a bedtime routine into your life. It may be that you're rushing too quickly into sleep and you're not getting a chance to turn yourself off gradually. So try those things and see what happens.
Thank you, Luke. Thanks for calling us. Let's get another call. Kat has phoned us. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, I'm all right, but how are you? How's your sleep?
For as long as I can remember, it takes me hours to switch off at night and just get to sleep. And then when I do get to sleep, I have very intermittent broken sleep. And I've thought recently about taking sleeping tablets, but because I've got a 1-year-old daughter, I'm quite wary of the fact I don't know if they like knock you out. I want to be able to wake up if she does cry. I'm blessed that she is a good sleeper for about 12 hours a night. So.
Yeah, you're very lucky at 1 year old that she's a good sleeper. I mean, definitely having had a baby, it does take you about a year for your own hormones to balance out and just become a little bit more regular. But it sounds like what you really need to do is, you know how you give your child some quiet time, you give them a proper bedtime routine, you probably give them a nice warm bath, a hot milky drink, and play the music or read them a bedtime story. You need to do exactly the same to yourself. So you need to build in an hour for your day. Give yourself a nice warm bath with lavender in it. Play some nice sleepy music. Maybe have some sleepy snacks before you go to bed, namely bananas, milk, oats. And then listen to some music before you go off to sleep, because it sounds like your problem is switching off from your busy day. And being a mum with a 1-year-old, it's a very busy day.
Kat, thank you very much. Almost behaving like a baby without the baby cream. Kat, thank you for that. I hope it really helps. Steve, hello. You've called up about your problem. You can go for days, you say, without sleep.
Yeah, I need very little sleep. My brain just doesn't switch off, and I tend not to get very tired physically. I don't know, it's happened, well, it's been going on for as long as I can remember. I'm 36 now. And, yeah, I mean, I did resort to, because I felt that I should be sleeping, so I did resort to drinking too much. And, you know, using that to sort of knock me out. And that did become a problem, which I've now just about sorted out. But, yeah, I mean, if I don't have anything at all, like something to drink, then I will just go days without sleep. And then maybe have like a 4 or 5 hour catch-up, and then back to how it was again.
It sounds like you have really accommodated to actually not needing much sleep. We mainly need between 6 and 8 hours sleep, but it sounds like you're just one of the lucky ones that really can survive. You're like a survivor, a superhuman. You can survive without much sleep. So I understand you'll need to perhaps try the alcohol. The alcohol acts as a sedative, it calms you down, but the problem with alcohol, it prevents you from getting into the deeper stages of sleep that we were discussing earlier on. Those are the important stages of sleep. So it's absolutely fine. Don't worry about it.
But if you're 36, it's, you know, and your energy's good, that's fine. But long term, I mean, because I was told when I was looking at this app that the deep sleep is where your body replenishes itself and your brain kind of retunes itself, recharges itself. So if you're not getting that long term, are you going to find yourself in a bit of trouble health-wise?
If you're feeling...
I don't notice myself slowing down or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it may be that Steve happens to be one of the lucky ones that happens to get into deep sleep very, very quickly. And you're absolutely right. The deep sleep is the deep restorative quality sleep where you balance out your hormones and your skin restores itself and your body repairs itself. That's the important sleep. And it may be that he just happens to be one of these people that is blessed. But if you're not like Steve, you may enter into problems, long-term heart problems, cancer, weight issues, and extreme fatigue, forgetfulness, and more profound problems. But it sounds like Steve is managing.
And there's a minority
fine.
who can do what Steve does, surviving on that.
Yes, and conversely, Nikki, who needs 9 hours, she's at the other end of the spectrum too.
She looks about 22 on it, doesn't she? Now, Pauline Skilton, thank you, Steve. Pauline Skilton has emailed in. She's 63 and she says, I've had trouble sleeping for about 20 years. I just can't get to sleep at all. I lie in bed worrying about things. I'm at the end of my tether. I'm exhausted. I suffer headaches every day and my eyes twitch all the time. And she just sounds, you know, you can hear from her email how desperate she feels about it.
Yeah. I mean, someone who's 63 that's had a problem for a long time really needs to take a look at the whole big picture of their life, what they're doing during the day, how much daylight exposure they're getting, what foods they're eating. That has a huge impact, particularly the foods that you're eating before you go to sleep at night, maybe introducing exercise and considering this bedtime routine. So for someone who's had a problem for many, many years, it's really almost running through your whole day, your whole life and what you're doing, because what you do during the day has a huge impact on how you sleep at night. So I really think a whole life review is necessary for Pauline. Really.
OK, thank you very much, Pauline. I hope you can get that sort of 20 years. It's just desperate, isn't it? There was a story we didn't get a chance to look at earlier on about mattresses. Now, this is at the lighter end of the headlines. A lady who tests mattresses has insured her bottom for £4 million. She tests them for Premier Inn, but really important. But the butt of this story is they're so important, mattresses, and you should change them quite regularly, shouldn't you?
Yes, what we find is mattresses that are more than 8 years old, they seem to deteriorate by about 75%. So it's necessary that you change your mattress if it's more than 8 years old.
OK.